Taking a look at this.
Very hard to find out.
I don't really get it.
We'll throw up another one in a couple
I don't really
minutes.
get it.
We'll talk about it.
So what's the accelerator job look like?
Thanks, class. Like I would.
Experiment with
I would
half on. Try.
half.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
More than half.
Okay, so I
I
did
don't
it
know.
right then.
It's not good to just plug in stuff. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
What did you put it? What did you put
I
it?
just put it on
Actually,
my-
you guys still- you guys still
Oh,
have that side session?
There's no homework or anything. Why don't we just
So you
like,
just said X and Y
Yes.
equal to
Yeah, that's for tomorrow, yeah. You study for the fifth.
Yeah, I would have won.
So there's the-
If
not
you
a
just
break.
go- if you
If you
just
just
go
go to like the
the-
practice down the
Yeah.
line.
You don't-
That way I don't get paid.
It does not exist.
So,
Hey, that's
study
the
up
process.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Gonna do grass. It's fine, it's fine, it's like, oh, there's so many. I was like, after this, they would slow down earlier.
You might want to save your tears for
That'll be
tomorrow.
good.
You might need them.
Oh, tomorrow is gonna be glorious. As a reminder to everybody, we are taking a test. I will be there at 7 a.m. in case you want to arrive early. You do not have to. You're more than welcome to show up at 8:10 and do 50 minutes on the test. It's doable.
Oh, well.
I would
You
recommend
have that choice.
Yeah, not for that, they're bad. Yeah.
So yeah, for those of you at home, you best show up tomorrow. Well, that's a quick F.
Oh,
Ah, one of those good.
And I've been trying to hold on to that F for Ben. I want to see if I can fail him. I think Ben's gonna get an F on the test if he doesn't get a perfect exam. After all the crazy talk he's been bringing.
This is harassment.
Is it though? Why don't you report me, Ben? See how far that gets you.
You're recording this right now.
Re-recording.
Yeah, but
As we previously heard, he's not for evidence.
if I don't share it, you have no proof.
Oh my God. I'll get proof later, honestly.
But it's still engraved on your hard drive, isn't it?
He's gonna,
They don't have access to my computer.
yeah, like.
No, it's on Zoom servers.
On what the official law terminology is, but I'm gonna get access to the hard drive. Need a pretty compelling reason to do that.
I think if anybody else backs up Ben's story, they get the F too. So y'all should just let Ben sink on his own.
It's on the Zoom. Did you say it's on the Zoom servers? That shouldn't be too hard to get into. They're not very secure after all.
You're incriminating.
But-
So what happens along the X-axis?
Security breach. Their security isn't that good. There's people
Jericho,
talking
if
to
you
work.
could, if you could get into Zoom servers and get access to this video illegitimately, I'll give you $100.
If we're coming along the X-axis, what are we doing? What's effectively happening in this property?
300 bucks. 600 bucks. What, 300? I said that's 300. Oh, my bad. Not my offer.
All right, let me try again. What happens if we come in along the X-axis? What are we effectively doing? What's true for every position on the X-axis?
Y equals 0.
Oh, that.
So this effectively becomes limit as X goes to 0 of X over X squared, which is what?
Whenever. Or would it actually value it?
Yeah, what's the value?
Oh, it doesn't agree.
The last piece.
Oh, wait a second, now we're going, it's on the stuff.
X over X squared is the same as 1 over X. The limit as X goes to 0 there is
Oh,
infinity. This was not a trick question.
Oh,
If we
that's
look
what I
along
got.
the y-axis, x equals 0.
I just look at those little. You can do that, how you can. Yeah, you can.
L'Hopital's rule is a hell of a lot slower than just reducing that to 1 over x.
Oh, so
So
it
this
does
is
work.
y goes to 0.
Well, it is a limit, and if the limit, you can use L'Hopital's rule, if the limit goes to 0, it's 0 for 0, and that's what you have.
I got 1/0. This doesn't x the x the y like that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do it right.
Negative. Really big enough.
So d and
That's a question back there.
Wouldn't the, I'm sorry. Wouldn't the limit be, negative if you're going from the negative direction? So. It would be infinity from the right instead, negative infinity from the, huh? One more time?
yeah, if you're coming from the negative side, I was looking at it from the plus side. But the same thing holds true. These end up being opposite, but you're right. The limit does go to different values. If I come in along x equals 0 from the plus, or I do x equals 0 from the minus, we hit different values.
Oh, yeah. Negative.
I guess that you could go along that without even doing the y-axis one. I thought doing y-axis would be quicker, but you're right. Either way, you're going to come to the same conclusion,
Gee,
or should, that it does not exist.
it's fun. What that mean? It's not.
The only thing we need to do is prove 2 point with it. Random.
Yes.
So.
How can you
do
both
is
this?
prove
Yeah, this
two
would be a
numbers,
one.
and does that match? That's it.
It doesn't exist.
Yes, it's
Okay,
you have
work
to
it, work
prove
it,
that
one of them
two
need
limits
a
go
value.
to different
Another need the
values.
So it doesn't matter which.
Doesn't matter which two. Am I correct, Mr. Jones?
As
As
long
long
as
as-
they go to two different limits, period. That was true on when we just did y goes out of x.
Oh, so if they're both infinity, then does it exist?
If they were both positive infinity, that's a little iffy because there's different types of infinity. But if they were the same type of infinity, yes.
How'd you know?
I think it's
Even then, the infinity is not a limit. It doesn't, that's not. You could say the limit's infinity, but it's not a value. You can't find a value.
So does it not exist if if either of them are infinity? That's why it says any underline.
well, it's
Yeah.
saying do you need we're going to different values.
We're going to different values here. It makes it clear. You guys want another one?
Yes.
Yeah, next one, move on.
Are you already bored, James? Is this too easy?
No, sin 0.
What, did I stump you? Please say I stumped you. I'm gonna say, why don't you make it a little bit easier on yourself and just take a look at z equals x squared plus y squared and try that. That relet sets the limit to z going to 0 from the positive side of 1 minus cosine z over z.
I know 1 minus cosine squared is an identity.
All right, 1 minus.
1 minus cosine squared is an identity, that's correct.
This one's not cosine squared, it's cosine, or it's x squared inside of cosine.
Well, could we make it 1 minus cosine squared though?
I can't, I don't know. Not right now, let's like it later. Figure that first H. But H. You flip it down.
L'Hopital is one way. I like the 1 minus cosine squared myself. I think it's good for you guys to think like that too. How could I make this into 1 minus cosine squared on top, or z, I should say? Is there a way to do that?
Conjugate.
I could multiply by the conjugate, right?
Oh, yes.
Which means I have z times 1 plus cosine z on bottom. I still have the limit. But then I could use that rule. I got sine squared z on top now.
Always using the.
Still have 0. Oh wait. Proof and everything for that.
Doable, right? Anyone recall the limit of sine z over z?
1.
It's 1. That one is something you just have to remember, unless you're good at doing the geometry of it. This one, though, we can actually evaluate, right?
Yeah, I'm not worried about
We
that.
get 0 over 2, that's 0. So I've got 1 times 0 is 0. L'Hopital's was another way. Do L'Hopital and you've got sine Z over 1. That's going to get you 0. Oh, you want to really bake your noodle? Let's bake your noodle. Who's up for a baked noodle today?
I will take a bait.
Let's bake your noodle.
I'm pretty hungry.
Our noodle boiled.
You're always asking, when the hell do we need those series expansions?
That's awesome.
Oh, what can we do here? Do a series expansion?
I don't think that's, I mean, we ask a lot of like random shit. So I don't think that's one thing I've ever said.
What's the series expansion of cosine Z? Who remembers?
1 minus sine squared C over factorial.
What are we
That's
doing?
not a series expansion.
No, remember.
C to the 2n, look, no, -1 to the Z times.
Yeah, we did.
C.
Oh. I know.
Then, yeah. Over. Skipping that much.
It's the bottom. Pretty sure it's 2n factorial. I think.
Man,
I don't know. Let's verify that before we go on. Cosine Z expansion.
I had the luxury of doing this on a test with it.
Yeah, that's what it's
Verify this before moving on. Is that 2N?
Yeah, it's just the two.
That's my mind and so.
Huh?
I just. Having flashbacks.
Oh, you're right. I recognize that. Or that form.
But what does that turn into?
It's like. That's a 2, so that would be 0. What did I say earlier?
Oop.
Oh.
Oh, shit, I used X's.
You do this.
You're gonna say like, aren't those supposed to be C's?
Taylor series.
So now I've got 1 minus 1. So this becomes the limit as Z goes to 0. And now everything has got a Z on top. It all just reduces by a little bit. I don't have a big fraction anymore. I've got Z over 2, negative Z over 2, plus Z cubed over 4 factorial, minus Z to the 5th over 6 factorial. And all of these individual limits are 0. What? Did we just do a Taylor expansion? Holy shit, that had a purpose? Get out of here, Jones, that ain't right.
We barely went over. My thought. We should be talking about it. Actually, no, she didn't even go.
It's a station in Calc too.
If you go over it, like, it's like, yeah. But no. I checked, like, to get on my phone. No.
Can't find Taylor, but you can find Taylor.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, I do like the Taylor Swift.
Which one was your favorite, James? Tell me which one.
Yesterday I slept like chicken now.
Doing L'Hopital's.
Just doing
L'Hopital, that's just the lazy way out.
That's the easy way.
It's just, there's no elegance in it.
Hey, you know what?
There's no
I
beauty in it. L'Hopital was just the cheater method.
I still think that mathematicians are just lazy and they're just advancing science so they can be even more lazy.
Oh, we are very lazy.
That's what computers were created for.
Exactly.
You want to know how lazy we are? Check this out.
Look at all the just look at all the math notation they come up with.
Now, this is the best.
We're lazy because we don't have time. We don't have time to do all this.
Let's see.
100 years. or 100 years. Wait,
What was it?
Lucky 100.
FogX.
That's not a long time. That's like a second. That's like a second in the life.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Oh, that is very lazy. I forgot about that.
The Earth is insignificant.
Oh, when did we learn that? Where is that like?
No, they don't put the parentheses there. They just do fog. Well, they might. All they've done is they've saved themselves one single parentheses. Like we still have the G of X, the G like that. We still got the F, we got the F. I got an O and I got a parentheses. The only thing that was saved by writing FogX was writing one parenthesis symbol, and yet they felt the need to do it. That's how lazy we are. Come up with a way to save yourself one character.
Finally, actually, recently, every teacher I've said this to is like, nah, mathematicians are lazy. No, they definitely, most certainly are. Make entire proofs out of Greek symbols.
Like they chose to make square root of -1 I. Well, what engineers use J? And neither of them is very fucking smart because we use I and J as the unit axes and vectors. So why did they go with I? It saves them a little bit of work writing it rather than square root of -1.
Is it -1 in the power, or is it -1?
And then in the numerator.
What?
Like, is it E
Negative-
-1, or is it E all of that raised and then there's a -1 at that?
Oh, it's E -1, E to the power and then -1.
That's like fine.
It's not, the -1 is not in the exponent.
That'd make this problem a little too easy.
For a second, I thought that was an E inside that. I thought there was an E inside the square root. I was like, there's an E of an E.
Jericho, you need to buy some fucking glasses. That's all I know. Something serious. There's every day I hear you saying you misread something that's clear as shit on the screen.
I have 20/20
Glasses,
vision.
bro, glasses.
I have 20/20 vision.
I thought so too, until I mistaked an equal sign for a negative. And now I wear glasses.
I don't believe that. That's what
Me
the doc-
too.
that's
So
what
I was
that's
like,
what
they
the-
need to make these
that's
signs
what
bigger on the road.
There's nothing in that exponent that looks even remotely like an E.
Not 0.20. 0.20.
Right?
Actually, with like decimal points, like I always make it a habit of putting like a 0 before my decimal point, because I feel like I will make the mistake of missing the fact that there's a decimal point there.
Exactly. That's why I don't like solid.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't include a 0 before. I'm like, what?
You should, if you definitely have a decimal value with no value, like no integer value in front of it,
I don't know why.
write 0 point so. Because you will mistake it for either a period or you won't even notice it.
True.
It literally has a line, it literally has a line going through the Z.
Oh, I see where you're thinking it looks like an E. It just kind of looks incomplete. That's why.
What can we do here?
That's
What's a
why I
good
like
substitution?
Line is straight line.
Maybe something natural log.
something that's wrong.
That's not a good substitution, you crackhead.
I see it's E and I want to get rid of it.
It's round at the top. He's not.
Yes, but no.
Okay,
Then after that,
let's give what Lauren said a try. Let's go with, I don't know, Q. We'll say natural log of Q equals square root x squared plus y squared plus z squared. Can we do anything with that?
That turns into
First off,
minus 1 over.
can we do that? We're going to 0. Well, we can, we just have to change what our limit is. This would be limit as Q goes to negative infinity, right?
Oops.
As those goes to 0, this has to go to negative infinity because natural log of 0 is negative infinity. But then we'd have e to the ln of Q minus 1 over ln of Q.
your pipes are sweeping. Looks good to me.
Actually, no, sorry. That has to equal 1.
Yes.
Q's got to go to 1, right? Because when this goes to 0, when natural log of Q equals 0 is when Q equals 1.
Yeah.
How's your light going?
Hold on.
So what can we do with that now, Lawrence? This was your show. Let's hear you roll with it.
I don't know if it's proper, but we could just, get rid of the E,
That was his whole
I think
plan.
that's valid.
get rid of the E. Now we've got Q minus 1 over ln of Q.
And now you have 0 over 0 again.
Now we L'Hopital it.
So we got L'Hopital,
So.
and we
that
got
means-
1 over Q, which is Q.
Yeah, which is 1. Let's go, buddy.
Which is 1.
Hey. All right. I mean, I think I'm looking. I don't know. Looks like it works.
Probably another one that.
Is that it's all valid? Is that like not?
That looks
That's it.
valid. Let's see what it was going to be like the other way. I was hoping you would recognize that square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared is rho.
Yeah.
It's true.
I didn't point that out because I thought it was wrong.
Remember, your engineering ideas. Nothing's a bad idea until it actually is a bad idea.
I think the bad idea should build about.
Again, we have a 0 over 0, so we have to L'Hopital. Oh, this becomes rho going to 0 positive. So your method worked, Lawrence. The tricky part here is recognizing what the limit changes to. Like, how do we reevaluate the limit from x, y, z going to 0, 0, 0? You got to recognize that it's changing it to going to 1. But if you do that, then the method works. But we're not going to stop with that. Why don't we do the the expansion here. Let's just drag that out of your guys' brains. Well, what's the expansion of e to the row or e to the x?
Just literally just looking at it, like a week ago.
I guess I should use row.
It's the Taylor series for eating, yeah. Oh.
I love.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't remember. I'm glad I'm not the only one that sees this trauma.
Yeah, trauma is good. It builds character.
Unless it doesn't.
It's a fun thing to read, not to experience.
It is not a fun thing to read. It's demoralizing. It's depressing to read.
Okay, fine. It's not fun to read. It's interesting to read.
Yeah, I know.
If done right, it makes a
Look at
great
that.
story.
Look at that. The ones cancel.
It's not my vision, it's
It's right.
Line above.
that's fair.
Yeah, you might want to start sitting in the front now.
I'm just gonna assume it's row.
It is all. It's basically all about, yeah.
Actually, I think if you just continue sitting back there, your vision will just adjust.
It will, but you'll probably
But
get
we're
more
already,
attention
we're already
as
like
it
7
goes
weeks in
on.
the semester. I
We'll
don't think it's
With that. Plus, I think this is taking.
Your eyes aren't like autofocus on a camera. They don't get better. 'cause you see-
It's not my vision, that's the problem. It's me trying to understand your writing.
No, because everyone else didn't get a fucking E in my exponent. It's your vision.
Yeah, that's not my vision, that's just my understanding. I'm not saying it's your writing.
Where do you see an E in this exponent? Anyone else in this class? Because that's what you said. There was an E in the exponent. There's nothing that's even round in it.
I think, okay, I'm just gonna say this. I think it's because the line going to the Z almost doesn't look like it's going all the way through the Z. So it kind of looks like an incomplete E.
Well, yeah, that's. I
Because
figured
you
it
don't
out
have
too.
like
I
a
was just
line
pointing it out.
connected. I can kind of see where he's talking about.
Only if your
Maybe there's
vision's
like a
blurry.
connector.
Yeah, but he's also looking for the back.
What are the odds if the bottom one says B squared and the top one has red?
I noticed what it was, I was just.
Sure, that's true. You never know sometimes, and you're just kind of rushing to take notes. I can understand why that might happen. It certainly has happened to me more than once.
Yeah, but you have glasses on.
That was before I had glasses on.
So I guess.
If I don't put the line through it, you guys are gonna say it looks like a 2. I mean,
Well, no, I'm
That's-
not saying the
that's-
line is a
no, I
problem. I'm not saying the line is a problem. I'm just saying that the line didn't look like it was going all the way through it.
that still doesn't look like an E. Either way, it's not just Z. I've heard you say it on a daily basis. You might think you have 2020, but you might want to get checked because it may not be 2020.
No, I don't think I know.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get back.
I thought I had 2022.
I'm glad you're so confident in your visual superiority.
It's it's literally a professional opinion. I guess it's an opinion, so I guess it could be wrong.
How long is
Oh,
Literally a
now
month
you're
ago.
you're an
Did my
optometrist.
vision deteriorate in a month?
That's possible. We get the sun.
I'm gonna look at the sun.
I hope you've been
Better
eating
write
your
that.
carrots to maintain your vision.
I do a lot of reading, so.
I mean, it's certainly not an old wives' tale to actually that says that carrots will improve your vision. It doesn't improve your vision. but it actually maintains your vision.
From, compound.
Yeah.
It's more effective.
They're doing great out there.
I forgot what the compound things.
I don't remember that. It's some compound that's important for your eyes.
That's pretty good.
I think it like maintains your cornea or something. That was a fun recent project. I did, with my research on F-55, I did like optics and some lenses.
I was gonna say, you did a research about this time there.
No.
The hell is been smoking? You like do that?
Give it a parachute and see how long it takes. Yeah, see.
Terminal velocity.
So why, how can we distinguish sometimes like, so in like the first couple examples, you like set X equals 0 and then evaluate one limit and then the other, and then some you just like straight up evaluate. And then how do you know like when it's appropriate to do either scenario?
Trial and error.
It really is.
If you can, if you can identify, like,
People are.
I'm listening.
It was for science.
it's like trying to figure out what to do. Like here, we can't L'Hopital, like we could plug in 0 over 0, but we can't L'Hopital because we don't have the tools to take the derivative of x squared, y squared.
That's perfect. Like that.
You were not even there yet.
So like if we don't have the tools to take a derivative,
Actually, wait. Actually, isn't it? I actually.
It
You
just
can't
seems
act-
like it would be appropriate.
Well, you actually might think so, but you tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you're actually able to use L'Hopital's rule with 2 variable limits.
No, partial derivative. I don't know, like, it just seems like, oh, you like, we want to take a part derivative, partial.
we haven't even had our partial derivatives. This leads to the partial derivatives.
Yeah. Well, but I feel like I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I'm pretty sure with 2 variable limits, you can't actually use L'Hopital's rule.
No, you can't because you've got 2 variables. And you can't take a derivative because you don't have the means to take the derivative. It just doesn't work. It's not set up for a multivariable function. L'Hopital does not work on a multivariable function. Because you don't, what do you take the derivative of?
And there's no, as far as I know, there's no partial derivative equivalent for L'Hopital's rule.
I don't want to see.
So what can we do?
I don't know.
Is this where we do polar?
Polar's worth a try. Let's try polar. I like that idea. So remind me, what's polar or cylindrical effectively?
14.
This was only, chapter 11. It wasn't that long ago.
It was R equals, yeah, square root of x squared plus y squared.
This is effectively as r goes to 0, right? We're at the origin.
I got it. Let's go. Oh, he's gonna be written down.
Okay, what about theta in this case?
Does theta matter when r is going to 0?
So we just assume theta is some constant?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be r squared cosine squared r squared sine squared theta?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
I like how you have the square floating over the theta.
It's cosine squared and sine squared.
I know that, it's just like your displacement of that square.
Because I added it late. I'll rewrite it.
No, it's not really that big of a deal. I,
I think Jericho heard him a little bit.
If I get trolled.
you have really nice handwriting.
Mr. Jones, I know this isn't much of a
Mr.
compliment,
Jones.
but
My handwriting is actually really good. I've seen a lot of teachers' handwriting. It looks completely atrocious.
Oh, yeah, it's
Pretty
true.
good.
Not the worst.
Mr. Jones, how did you get R cubed at the beginning of it?
I probably.
I got R squared, and I'm dividing by R.
So it'd be R.
So it'd be R.
no,
R squared.
it's because you have
Oh,
R
it's
squared.
R to the, okay, R4, okay.
Happy Tuesday.
I don't have any.
Don't worry, we all have our those part times.
Simplification, I love simplification.
I would say just learn from your mistakes, but we all repeat those mistakes all the time.
That was a hard. So.
Yeah, are you starting to like see it?
I remember
It's not bad.
when telling us that it matters the order in which we take limits,
That's
is
good.
that gonna like pop up here?
Yeah.
Or is that only like a physics thing?
Sure.
When we get to integrals, you'll see multiple integrals. I don't want to spoil the surprise. That's the next chapter.
How did they go from to the three? When did they go to, I thought it would go down. Those are negative one, right?
There's two sets of R squared, so it goes to R to the fourth. And you're
Yeah.
dividing by R, you get R cubed.
Oh.
Like I made arrows in orange. They it should stand out.
X squared.
I was reading about the why. That makes sense. That's what I was. I didn't get you that. And then, but if you do like from the left and right, like. Is it due to one? I did like. Maybe there.
No, it's due today.
I almost forgot like. It's different. Lesson, right? It was like. How you.
I mean, it's
like.
production.
I just remember. Yeah, so I remember when I was doing that. I was looking about it, just effectively like, let's just try really. Just try values on either side. Yeah. You would converge it, right? Like, how do you do that?
Another Brandon
Break
for
that.
your question about theta.
Saying that it probably converges to that, you know?
Brandon was asking about theta here.
All that, if you plug in those, and it's like really secondary negative points.
Hey, there's no need to call me out.
It's just-
No, this I want to point out something because you have a valid question. What happened to theta? Why bother with theta? Well, we're going to cosine theta and sine theta.
Like some other ones were like signs.
Oh, yeah.
X and Y are gonna be different values, aren't
What
they?
is cosine theta and sine theta bounded by?
One. Let's go.
So as long as this isn't going to infinity, because then we'd have to look at it, but it's not. This is bounded between -1 and 1. So anything that's got a bounded value and is bounded and is multiplied by 0, the 0 wins. The only times the 0 is in question is when it's 0 times infinity. That's the only indeterminate form with a 0. Oh, 0 divided by 0, but that's the same thing as 0 times infinity, effectively.
Oh, yeah, because one.
That's interesting.
So the theta is actually not relevant here. Looks like we're at like close to 9 o'clock. Don't forget, we got a test tomorrow. You're more than welcome to show up. I'll be there probably by 6:30, 6:45, but that just depends on how long it takes to go through the line of
Is there a line at Starbucks at 6:30?
That's like.
It's
when there
generally
is
not.
one.
It also has to do with how quickly I drag my slow moving ass out of bed. You will not have any delta epsilon
Oh,
proofs
one,
as
yeah.
part of
What
your
time?
homework test. The delta epsilon proof is just so you get a little better understanding. If you really want to explore it, take a real analysis.
So there's not gonna be any 13-point chapter stuff in the exam?
There's not gonna
Or
be any
is it
what?
going to be- is it all going to be 12 point like chapter 12, or is there gonna be chapter 13 stuff?
No, it's only chapter 12.
Okay.
You guys have the practice exam. I'm not like gonna, that would be fucked up to add chapter 13 to the test.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Jones. See you
Uh-huh.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Hey, Zach,
Yeah,
after you read book 2,
yeah.
don't read book 3 before you read Edge Dancer.
Okay, so Edge Dancer before 3.
Edge Dancer is like 2.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of that one actually.
It's a shorter book.
Okay.
And it's got one of the best characters in the story, Lift. Lift is such a great character.
Oh, cool. Okay. And
And
Yeah,
she
definitely, I'll
starts
do that.
showing up in the books after that.
oh, he does. Okay, so you'll get a little
Yeah,
back, like
it's a
insight
she.
into
She's
it.
like she's a teenage girl.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do that. Thanks for the heads up with that.
Yeah. I'm a little
right,
jealous that
Professor
you get to
Jones,
read them fresh.
See you later. It's nice because I have got the book 4. So.
Right, you got a lot. See you guys later. See you tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow, Professor Jones.
See you.